Today, we're talking about Christ consciousness, how to achieve Christ consciousness. Now, Christ consciousness is your nature and your ability to identify the nature of God and also your virtues. How can you identify, well, your character? Okay, because this is a big key part is whenever you don't know your virtues, there's no way that you can uphold a virtue whenever you're experiencing some type of stimulus. Because if you don't know by now, the only reason why your mind is going off is because you don't know what a character is and you don't know your experience with that characteristic. Meaning you don't act like you know, okay? Because you already know it because you obviously experienced it. It's in your mind. It exists. So you know how you deal with that nature and your perception of that nature. You just don't want to deal with it. So that in itself, that create a body, that create an energy. And that's what the shadow is. So shadow work is about getting towards that sheet. And we use virtues and have values to do that. And we still use those things so that we don't ever get lost again. That's the whole point. Now, whenever you're using things just to get to another thing, then you're just like a dirty ass pig in the spirit world. Meaning all you fucking do is look to see when is your next meal coming in? When is your next desire? When your next desire is going to get fulfilled? How can I do this? How can I do that? So if you peep game and you see that sound like that sound like hell. So you got to understand what you're doing with your mind. It's very, 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 very important to how you are connecting to nature, life, your body, your mind, your psyche. Because you got to understand, wherever you experience reality, you do it with your soul. And your soul is, the way to see your soul is your perception of objects and space and time. So whenever you understand objects in space and time, because objects give off characteristics, then you can use that information as a canvas to help you identify what's going on internally. So truth is on the outside of you and it's on the inside of you too. So to know your environment is to know yourself. So if you're in that red pill matrix talk, you're an idiot. You will never understand this type of knowledge. So sucks for you. Now, because you gotta understand prejudice and beliefs and shit like that. Like that right there in itself allow you to see or not to see. It's that simple. You already know this. So because that red pill matrix shit, y'all believe that life is against you, the world, the people that run the world lying to you and all that shit. Dude, you got to understand wisdom, and a big part of wisdom is about being ignorant. Yeah, that's the mind. That's actually the mind. The mind is actually ignorance and polarity. So whenever we're talking about shit like that on the outside of you and you're breaking in these beliefs from the outside of you internally, you're only fucking up yourself. Because what I just explained, whenever you know your environment and you able to identify characteristics from objects in space and time, you bring that information internally because truth is external and internal. Listen, you don't gotta read no fucking book. Truth is not in one thing. It's just humans suck and they don't know how to use their mind, so they got to use a thing to justify y'all fucking dirty ass. I'm talking about dirty ass belief systems, dirty ass spirits. Shit, just confusion. Like you gotta understand, a concept of truth will never be as simple as truth itself. Listen, truth is like the closest is sense. So who can make the most sense? Who can unify everything? That's how you know someone with God. That's how you know someone's with God. So it's not about your attitude towards God, religion and shit. It's about wisdom and intelligence. And you got to understand, whenever you're experiencing God, you're going to have that sweetness of emotion. Either anyway, duh. So, because God is good. I'm not bashing religion, or because those are tools. Those are all tools. Like life is like, you got to understand, this shit is not about believing in nothing. It's not about following nothing. It's literally just about knowing your nature and knowing how God is communicating with you. And you do that by knowing your nature, because you are no thing. You just are a fucking spirit. How do we know this? Because you get summoned to different aspects of yourself, different personalities. You can measure your personality. Whenever you go to this aspect, you act this way. Whenever you go to this aspect, you act a different way. But whenever you come back to this one aspect, you can see those two aspects coexisting together within this same little aspect. And whenever you get a little deeper with it, you can see it internally and externally. You can see how things did form, and yada yada yada, blah. Listen, when it comes to communicating with God, knowing the nature of God, and being able to identify God, it is not no goddamn spooky. It is not no goddamn out of beyond shit, dude. Oh my goodness, God is God is realer than this goddamn mic that I'm speaking through. So now I gotta understand, it's just life. Like life is God, bitch. So wherever you just come to those conclusions, that's how you know that you're building the Christ consciousness. Okay. Now, outside may confuse you. So hey, if you bringing in shit from the outside, then hey, buddy, you're gonna get dirty, and you won't be able to see God on the outside either, because like I said, look outside, it's dirty outside. Dirty as being those attributes goes against the highest good. So, and y'all humans are retarded, and y'all don't know that, and y'all play out the attributes of the things that go against the highest good. So we eventually build a world that goes against the highest good. So the highest good is fucking invisible down here. But luckily, through the human body, we can actually purify ourselves to allow it back in. So this is the whole thing. It's about Christ consciousness. It's about doing that. But you gotta know your nature, and you gotta understand your values and have that ability to identify your values, and not being lost within things that you gotta use to get to some particular thing that you're valuing, or that you want, something that can help you for whatever. You gotta understand what you're participating in, what attribute, what element that you're getting yourself involved with, and your chronology of that environment, meaning how you did interact with a vibe that is that similar. Use your fucking mind. Use your intuition. You know a energy. You know a essence. Like, so whenever you just understand, like, cause guys, y'all gotta do better. Y'all gotta do better down here. Y'all gotta do fucking better. Your nature and words and sound and words and what you like and what you dislike, that don't mean that you know yourself at all. Listen, Jameer not talking about that. Jameer talking about something way deeper, way deeper. I'm talking about how God made you, dummy, and the principles that fucking made you. I'm talking about that, not the shit that you like in your human body. What I don't like, oh, I like this color. I like this food. I know myself. No, dumbass. No, you fucking retard. It's a reasoning why you even looking at shit like that in the first place. I'm talking about there. I'm talking about up there. So this is about knowing that nature, and then being able to identify the nature of God. Whenever you do start to use the wheel of the highest good. And how do we know that we're using the will, the highest good? Your values will tell you, because whenever these objects come back around in space and time and give out these characteristics, the first body is that old instrumental ignorant body. So you're going to react and respond via time, how you used to do it. If you're not aware that's what's happening, guess what? You fall. What is falling? Not using ignorance to ride it out, to see what elements and where those constituents actually come from. You're using language to see what you're doing, where you are. You're trying to find the right word to justify that hidden desired feeling that you want, because that's all y'all want. It's a hidden vibe. It's like a hidden feeling that you want, that you're trying to scramble for. And the only reason why you're scrambling is because you don't know shit. Y'all don't have no knowledge at all. So it's about understanding real knowledge, dimensions of existence, and how that shit interrelates to the human existence and experience. That is Christ consciousness, and that is how you achieve Christ consciousness.